Hey, Jared.
Hey, Alicia.
Welcome back, everyone, to Vibrations and Manifestations.
This is your place for, well, spiritual truth bombs, maybe?
Yeah.
And hopefully some aha moments that feel less like a lecture
hmm
and more like, chatting with friends who already did the homework for you.
That is absolutely the goal. And today, we are carrying on with our myth busting series. We are right in the middle of it now.
Yeah.
This is episode 33, part two of our four-parter, where we're really tackling some big myth holding people back.
Right. Last week was 5 prevalent myths about manifesting money. But this week, we're diving deep into something that, well, it touches everyone.
Yeah.
Love.
Yep, love.
And specifically, those sneaky little myths about attracting connection that might be messing with what we're calling soulmate energy.
Oh, yeah.
And we're drawing on some powerful sources, specifically, the teachings of Abraham Hicks and also insights from Dr. Joe Dispenza. A lot of you asked us to take this on, wanting to understand the energetic principles, but maybe more importantly, wanting to bust some of those common myths, the ones that might be blocking the connection you actually want. To give you a shortcut through these ideas, uh, helping you understand what the sources say is really essential for manifesting.
And what's really fascinating when you look at these different sources, Abraham Hicks on one side, Dr. Joe Dispenza on the other,
Yeah.
is the overlap. It's
Mhm.
pretty striking. The core theme that just keeps coming up is that attraction manifestation, it's fundamentally energetic.
Yeah.
Your internal state, your vibration,
Mm.
it's not just influencing things, it's the actual signal you're constantly broadcasting out. And that shapes what comes back. Yeah, so we'll check out some popular self-help ideas about manifesting love.
Compare them with what science, especially neuroscience and psychology, tells us about how our brains, our bodies, actually respond to connection and our beliefs about it.
And hopefully offer some practical ways for you listening to shift your energy.
And then we'll wrap up with a guided visualization towards the end.
You know that feeling, right? Like you're doing everything, the journaling, the visualizing, maybe you're even like muttering affirmations in traffic.
Totally.
But your love life still feels like a rerun, like an old heartbreak movie, not the healthy connection you actually want.
Exactly. It's like you're trying to tune into this beautiful, clear station, but all you get is static. Just fragments of old fears, old disappointments playing over and over.
That static is what we want to help you identify today. Our mission really is to unpack these energetic myths that keep love like at arm's length.
Help you open your heart a bit more.
Yeah, align with that healthy connection, get some clarity, some compassion for yourself, and, some real momentum to rewrite that love story.
Okay.
So if you feel like you've maybe been dating your trauma, but just wearing a different hat this time, this deep dive is for you.
Yeah.
We're going to look at those common energetic myths, the ones that subtly block connection, the ones that keep you people-pleasing or second-guessing.
Or just stuck in that cycle of doing the work,
Yeah.
but not actually seeing the love you want come in.
Yeah. Right. Is to help you spot those myths, bust them wide open,
Mhm.
and help you open your heart a bit more, align with what healthy connection actually feels like, and hopefully rewrite your love story. But from a place of like clarity and compassion this time.
Clarity, compassion, and momentum. Let's get things moving.
Let's liberate your love frequency, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay, but before we jump into the myth busting, let's just get real for a second.
Please.
Because, yeah, we've been there too. These myths, they are so sneaky.
They really, really are.
Yeah.
Your story, the self-love first spiral, that one really got me.
Oh, gosh, yeah. That whole phase, I genuinely, truly believed I had to reach some kind of perfect state of self-love before I was even allowed to think about a healthy relationship.
Right. Like it's a reward you unlock after hitting level 100 of inner work.
Totally. So I was just constantly moving the goalposts. One day I'd feel all right, the next I'd feel anxious or insecure about something small, and boom, nope, not ready, not aligned enough.
Wow.
I canceled a date. Literally canceled because I felt anxious. My internal monologue was just, if I were really aligned, I wouldn't be anxious right now.
Oh, wow.
So the myth I was living was that any discomfort meant I was fundamentally misaligned and therefore shouldn't even try to connect.
So anxiety wasn't just a feeling. It was like proof you weren't worthy of connection yet.
Exactly. I was so fixated on being perfectly aligned that I mistook vulnerability or just normal human emotional waves for some big cosmic no.
Hmm.
The big takeaway from that story really is that fear or anxiety, it isn't always misalignment. Sometimes it's just vulnerability showing up because something actually matters to you. That myth kept me stuck for so long.
That makes so much sense. Mine was a bit different, but it kind of came from a similar place of rigid expectation.
Ah, yes.
My core myth was that true love, like soulmate love, had to feel totally magical and effortless right from the start. You know, like the movie montage where everything just clicks
Yeah.
perfectly.
The floating through a field of daisies together forever, no bumps.
Exactly that. So I met someone, really great connection, amazing person, but, real life happened. There were actual challenges,
Mhm.
little communication things, busy schedules, just two people figuring out how to blend their lives, normal stuff.
Totally normal stuff.
But instead of seeing it that way, any little bump felt like a sign it wasn't aligned. My thinking was, well, if this was really meant to be, it wouldn't feel this hard
Yeah.
sometimes, or this awkward, or just unfamiliar.
So you were mistaking discomfort or just the newness of it for a cosmic red flag, just like I was mistaking vulnerability for misalignment.
That's exactly it. I basically bailed too soon because it didn't fit this idealized, effortless flow fantasy.
Mhm.
The takeaway from that one is really that discomfort isn't always misalignment. It can just be vulnerability or, like you said, the unfamiliarity of a new, maybe healthier dynamic that doesn't fit old patterns, especially like trauma-based ones.
It's wild how subtly these myths creep in, isn't it?
It's so subtle.
We think we're being discerning or protecting ourselves, but really we just end up sabotaging actual potential because it doesn't perfectly match some script we wrote in our heads.
Totally. They show up in our language, our decisions, often without us even realizing what's driving it.
Yeah. So, okay, let's drag these common myths out into the sunlight. Let's name them and then replace them with truths that actually make space for healthy connection.
Let's do it. Time for some myth busting.
Let's clear those energetic blocks.
Myth number 1. This is a biggie, connects right to your story.
Yeah.
I need to love myself fully before I can attract love.
Oof. This one feels so right, doesn't it? Like, be this perfect, healed, self-contained unit first. And self-love is great, obviously.
Of course. Crucial.
But the myth part is needing to be done. Like, graduate from healing before you're deserving.
Exactly. And, teachings like those from Abraham Hicks, they talk more about tuning into feeling good now, raising your vibration in this moment, not postponing joy until you achieve some perfect future self.
Right. It's about aligning with now, not waiting for perfect.
And the science here is really interesting because it actually offers a bit of a contrast to that heal alone first idea. Kristen Neff, who's done amazing work on self-compassion.
Yeah, love her work.
She points out that self-compassion is often learned or at least strengthened through relationships in connection with others.
That's such a key point. Secure attachment, healthy interactions, they actually activate different neural pathways than when we're isolated.
Mirror neurons, co-regulation.
Yeah.
We learn emotional responses with and from others.
Yeah. Science literally shows that connection itself can be a healing mechanism. So trying to perfect self-love in a vacuum before you connect, it's often counterproductive.
Right. You don't have to be done healing to be worthy of love.
Your capacity for self-love can actually grow within the safety of a good relationship.
So the busted point. You don't need to be fully healed or perfect to receive love. Full stop.
And the reframe could be something like, love yourself enough to receive love. Practice letting connection in even while you're still figuring things out.
Okay, myth number 2. My soulmate is the person I can't stop thinking about.
Oh, the intensity, the constant thoughts. That electric pull, surely that means it's destiny, right?
Uh-huh. Well, this is where it gets tricky. Because focus is important in manifestation, right? Neville Goddard talks about imagining, living from the end.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a massive difference between focused, intentional imagining and just obsessive fixation. Intense pull isn't always alignment.
It's often not alignment. It can feel like destiny, but the science gives us another lens, connects this kind of intense fixation to trauma bonds sometimes.
Right. Neurologically, yeah. Initial attraction involves dopamine, feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But fixation, especially if there's inconsistency or drama involved, that can hijack those dopamine pathways. It becomes almost addictive.
And the default mode network, the DMN in your brain's sort of self-reflection and rumination system. Your brain's rewatch this heartbreak on repeat system, which is harsh, but kind of accurate.
Ooh, yeah.
Constantly thinking about someone, especially if it feels unresolved or there's that push-pull, it might be less cosmic destiny, more your brain stuck in a loop, seeking resolution, or just that intermittent hit.
So that intense feeling can be a trauma bond or just a neurological loop playing out.
Yeah.
Healthy connection doesn't usually have that frantic, addictive edge.
Exactly. Busted point. That intense obsessive feeling might be a trauma pattern or a brain loop, not necessarily soulmate alignment.
The reframe then is something like, true love feels safe, not addictive. Or maybe love feels calm, not chaotic, steady, grounded, not emotional whiplash.
Okay, myth number 3. This one speaks right to your story. True love should feel magical and effortless. If it's hard, it's not aligned.
The ultimate rom-com lie.
Totally. Everything just flows instantly. And if you hit any difficulty, any need for effort or communication must not be meant to be. Pack it up.
This myth just completely ignores that relationships are dynamic. They take participation. Manifestation teachers like Joe Dispenza talk about intention plus elevated emotion plus repetition.
Yes. Repetition implies action.
Right. Consistent, aligned action, not just sitting on the couch waiting for magic beans.
Exactly. Aligned action isn't desperate chasing. It's showing up from a place of knowing your worth and intention. And the science backs this neuroplasticity. Building new relationship patterns requires doing things differently, repeatedly.
You're literally rewiring how you interact through those repeated actions, like having the tough conversation or showing up even when you're tired or, coordinating schedules.
That stuff takes energy. It takes courage. It's not just passive magic.
So, busted point. Soul connection doesn't mean zero challenges or zero effort. Growth happens through navigating challenges together.
The reframe here: aligned love is co-created. Real connection takes courage and care. Showing up is part of the alignment.
Okay, myth number 4. You need a romantic relationship to be complete or happy.
Okay, let's just pause and zoom out here for a sec, because we often focus so much on romantic love when we talk manifesting love or soulmates.
Mhm.
But the broader view reminds us love isn't only romantic, it's for everyone listening.
Mm.
Partnered, single, choosing to be single, exploring other connections.
Absolutely a critical point. You can manifest incredibly deep, life-altering friendships, powerful creative partners, supportive communities, chosen family. Love is plural. It's chosen. It's way bigger than just one romantic setup.
Your fulfillment isn't dependent on finding the one romantically. Maybe your heart right now isn't actually craving a spouse. Maybe it's craving that soul friend who just gets you.
Or a community that lifts you up. Or that creative collaborator who sparks something amazing. Those are all sacred connections.
And the really powerful thing here, the same principles we're talking about, manifestation, visualization, energetic alignment, they apply to calling in any kind of meaningful connection.
Yes. The universe responds to the signal you send about belonging, support, connection. It doesn't care if it's romantic, platonic, queer platonic.
Or that chaotic good brunch crew energy. It all counts. It's all sacred.
Yes. So, busted point. Your joy, your completeness, not dependent on a romantic partner.
The reframe. Connection comes in many forms. Fulfillment is self-sourced.
Beautiful. Okay, last one. Myth number 5. Wanting love makes me needy.
Oh, the shame around this one. It's so pervasive. Like you're supposed to pretend you don't desire connection, otherwise you're desperate or something's wrong with you.
But desire isn't desperation. Abraham Hicks talks about desire being the rocket fuel of creation. It's natural. It's part of being alive and wanting to expand.
Denying that genuine desire for connection, that just creates blockage. It creates lack energetically.
And the science connects here too from a different angle. Shame physiologically blocks openness. Shame about wanting something makes you hide, makes you energetically unavailable to receive it.
Whereas safety creates availability. When you feel safe enough to just admit and own your desire for love without judging yourself, you lower the defenses. You actually become more magnetic.
Shame is the block, not the desire itself.
Exactly. Busted point. Desire for connection is divine, natural. Shaming it creates lack.
In the reframe, desire is divine. You're allowed to want love out loud. Or maybe, my desire for connection is sacred. I own it with pride. Wanting love means you're human.
Okay, quick rapid-fire recap of those 5 myths and reframes.
Let's do it. Myth 1. Need to love myself fully first. Reframe. Love yourself enough to receive love.
Myth 2. Soulmate is who I can't stop thinking about. Reframe. True love feels safe, not addictive.
Myth 3. True love is effortless. Hard means wrong. Reframe. Aligned love is co-created. Real connection takes courage and care.
Myth 4. Need romance to be complete. Reframe. Connection comes in many forms. Fulfillment is self-sourced.
Myth 5. Wanting love makes me needy. Reframe. Desire is divine. You're allowed to want love out loud.
Phew. Okay, if any of those myths kind of pinged for you, if you felt a little ouch of recognition.
Then you are absolutely ready for the next step.
Yeah.
Welcome to the debug zone.
Time to check that spiritual code, that energetic programming you might be running in the background without even knowing it. Let's clear out the static. Tune into possibility.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't need anyone. I'm totally fine alone. But there's that tiny crack in your voice.
Mm-hmm.
That little crack might mean you're running an old program, like fearofrejection.exe or maybe vulnerability equals pain.dll.
Huh. Exactly. It's about spotting those hidden programs. So let's run a quick debug. Ask yourself these questions. Really, like, sit with them honestly for a moment.
Okay. First, what do I honestly, truly expect from love deep down? And where did that belief actually come from?
Up.
Parents, past hurts, movies.
Next, when you picture receiving love fully, what feeling comes up first in your body? Is it mostly joy, expansion, or is there a little flicker of fear, contraction? Be honest.
When you imagine being truly seen, fully loved for who you are, does that feel fundamentally safe in your nervous system? Or does it feel maybe a little scary because it's unfamiliar, or it means letting walls down?
Ooh, that's a good one. And have you maybe confused healthy independence with, like, a strategy of self-protection, of emotional avoidance?
Is your I'm fine alone genuinely empowered choice? Or is it maybe a performance sometimes to avoid feeling vulnerable?
And the big one. When you look at your patterns, your expectations around love, is the script mostly written by past trauma and fear? Or is written by trust and possibility?
Debugging is just shining a light, seeing the subconscious program, because once you see it, you get to choose a new operating system.
Yeah. Suggests this powerful reframe to download right now. I'm open to giving and receiving love from a place of strength, not fear.
Just try saying that to yourself, maybe even out loud. I'm open to giving and receiving love from a place of strength, not fear. Feel the shift.
That shift from protection, from guarding to reception to openness, that is magnetic.
Debug complete. New script loaded. Aligned, available, and absolutely magnetic.
Okay. So, we've named some myths, we've debugged some old code. Now let's talk about what's actually happening, like physically, in your body, in your brain, when you intentionally shift into this open, ready space for love.
Yes. Because, like we said, this isn't just woo-woo talk. There's a real physiological, neurological reality here. It's wiring.
That vibration of love or openness, that feeling aligned, it literally has a measurable signature in your body. Thinking loving, safe thoughts, cultivating connection actually triggers the release of good stuff.
Yeah, neurochemicals like oxytocin, the bonding hormone, builds trust, connection, and dopamine for pleasure and motivation. But it's different from that chaotic dopamine hit of fixation we talked about earlier. This is steadier, grounded in safety.
And this state,
Yeah.
it actually improves your heart rate variability, your HRV.
Right. And the source explains better HRV means your nervous system is more flexible, more resilient. It can shift out of fight or flight, that guarded, stressed state.
Into rest and receive, that open, available state, which is pretty essential for a real connection, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely essential. And this leads to the idea of coherence. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about heart-brain harmony.
Mm-hmm.
When your heart rhythm and your brain waves sync up in a positive emotional state, that's coherence. And the science suggests this coherent state broadcasts a different electromagnetic field.
And the universe, as they say, is a very good listener to that clear, coherent signal. You're literally shifting your physical frequency.
And visualization,
Yeah,
a huge tool for this. And it has a solid neurological basis.
totally. Mental rehearsal. Neuroplasticity. When you vividly imagine a future scenario like feeling loved and safe, your brain activates a lot of the same pathways as if it were really happening.
Your brain doesn't perfectly distinguish between vividly imagined and real. It's like training your brain and body to expect it, to prepare for it, to receive it.
This is key in things like the Silva Method, reprogramming the subconscious. You use mental rehearsal, you anchor it in a strong, positive feeling, and you repeat it in a calm, receptive state, like alpha brainwaves.
And we have to weave in attachment theory here again. Our early experiences wire our nervous system's patterns around intimacy. If things were inconsistent, maybe rejecting,
Yeah.
your system might literally link intensity or anxiety with intimacy. That connects back to myth 2, the trauma bond idea.
Right. So intentionally cultivating feelings of safety, visualizing secure connection, that actively helps rewire those old patterns through neuroplasticity.
So yeah, these myths aren't just abstract bad ideas. They're often tied to deep neurological and psychological patterns.
And busting them, choosing new beliefs, cultivating different feelings, that is literally rewiring work. For real.
Which is kind of wild and also really empowering, right? You have agency here.
So much agency.
Abraham Hicks talks a lot about vibration, right? And your point of attraction, the basic idea being you don't just attract what you want. You attract what you are a vibrational match to. your dominant feeling.
And here's the kicker, and it can be a bit tough to grasp sometimes. Often someone consciously wants this amazing relationship, right? But their dominant vibration deep down, it might not match that future at all.
So what does it match?
Well, it's more likely a match to doubt about relationships, maybe from past hurts or worries or just general anxiety. Abraham Hicks apparently said something like, most people are more of a vibrational match to doubt in relationships than they are to living happily ever after.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could be unintentionally attracting experiences that reflect that doubt, even while you're, trying so hard to think positive thoughts.
But there's help, right? Abraham Hicks talks about the vortex
Mm-hmm.
or vibrational escrow.
Exactly. Think of it like this cosmic holding place. Every desire, every preference you've ever had, it's gathered there. Your inner being, your higher self, knows exactly what's in there.
Okay.
And that inner being, it's always guiding you towards those desires. Your feelings are the compass. Feel good, joyful, relieved. You're in harmony. You're aligned with what's in the vortex.
And feeling bad, anxious.
That's the signal. You're out of alignment with that guidance. Your inner being wouldn't guide you towards something that isn't a match for who you really are. So that anxiety you feel about a potential relationship, that's probably not your inner being. That's more likely old conditioning, fear, worry, those patterns kicking in.
Okay, that makes sense.
And this is where Dr. Joe Dispenza's work really clicks in and explains the why. He talks about how past emotional events, the really charged ones, they condition the body into subconscious states. Resentment, fear, lack, unhappiness.
They get stuck.
Literally stuck at a biological level. And they drain the energy you need to create something new. These states keep you anchored energetically in the past, broadcasting the past, not the future you want. And the body, Dr. Dispenza points out, it doesn't know the difference between a real memory and an emotion you're just thinking about now. It just relives it, keeps you stuck in that old energy.
Wow. So the goal then, according to Abraham Hicks, isn't really about chasing the relationship itself.
Not initially, no. It's about getting into vibrational alignment first. If relationships are a subject that stirs up a lot of resistance for you.
Which for many people they are.
Absolutely. Consider intentionally setting aside the subject of romance for a bit. Maybe 3 months, one source suggested. And during that time, focus only on deliberately improving your mood about everything else. Your work, your health, your hobbies, anything but romance.
Why? What's the aim?
The aim is to improve your overall feeling state. Strengthen your connection with your inner being, clean up your vibration without the specific resistance tied to wanting a partner getting in the way. Clean up the general vibe first.
Okay, so quick recap of this part. Attracting love means matching its vibration, not just wanting it.
Right. And past stuff, as Dispenza explains, can keep your energy broadcasting the wrong signal.
So the most powerful thing is to focus on just feeling better overall. Improving that inner alignment, maybe even by taking a break from focusing on relationships if that's a sticky subject.
Exactly. Shift the general feeling state first.
Create the future from the inside out. Abraham Hicks gives us that anchor point. All of my power is in the now.
And this links so perfectly to Dr. Joe Dispenza talking about creating from the field, the quantum realm, not just matter changing matter over time.
Explain that a bit more. The brain-heart coherence part.
Right, so think of it like this. Your thoughts, your intention, that's like sending an electrical signal out into the field. The more coherent or organized your brainwaves are, the clearer that signal. And your feelings, especially elevated ones like love, joy, gratitude, they create a magnetic field. That's what draws the experience to you. The more coherent your heart rhythm, the stronger the magnet. Love, which some describe as the energy holding things together, creates a really powerful magnetic field. One source mentioned research showing a coherent heart's field can be detected up to 3 meters away.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And this is why overcoming that past conditioning, those survival emotions like fear, anger, resentment, it's critical.
Because they mess up the signal.
They create incoherence, chaos in the brain and heart signals. Autonomic dysregulation makes it really hard to send a clear intention or generate a strong magnetic pull from the field. So the overcoming process, working through those old states, is how you become coherent, how you become your future self. And Dispenza stresses, you have to be willing to sit with the discomfort sometimes. Sit in the fire, choose a new response, literally retrain your body out of the past.
Which brings us back to that powerful instruction from Dr. Dispenza. Write down what you want in a person or situation, and then become it.
Exactly. Because you attract who you are, your state of being, not just what you wish for. Your future self, the one already living that reality, it exists as a potential in the field. The overcoming process, releasing the past, building coherence, choosing love, that makes you a vibrational match. It lets you draw that future to you.
And becoming it happens in the present moment.
That's the only place it can happen. Dr. Dispenza talks about laboring for the present moment, really dedicating your practice to getting beyond your body, people, places, time, the familiar knowns.
Why is that so important?
Because that's where the unknown lives. That's where potential exists. You disinvest energy from the predictable past and put it onto infinite possibility. In that state of pure consciousness, your brain gets super organized, coherent. Creation from the field becomes possible.
And sometimes that leads to those love attacks you mentioned.
Yeah, it's an intriguing phenomenon observed in his work. It's not negative. It's this spontaneous moment of deep, sustained coherence in the brain and heart, flooded with elevated emotion. The body can get washed with oxytocin, apparently sometimes measured at levels like 200 times normal,
Cool.
leading to spontaneous healing, this overwhelming feeling of wholeness, connection, love. It's like a glimpse of what's possible when we truly align and embody that state.
So bringing it back to Abraham Hicks, we don't need to obsess over the how or when.
Exactly. Trying to figure out the steps, control things, fix others, that keeps you stuck in the slow, matter-on-matter way of creating. Your request is in the vortex. Your inner being is handling the specifics. Your job. Your power. It's managing your vibration, your feeling state right now. Reduce resistance by feeling better, and the manifestation unfolds.
Is there a simple way to practice that? Feeling better.
Yeah. One technique mentioned, sometimes called the marble game, or finding easy existing matches, is great for this. Picture a circle for your subjects, say relationships. Inside, maybe a smaller circle for how you feel now, disappointment maybe.
Okay.
Then you deliberately look for other thoughts, surrounding circles that feel even slightly better. They don't have to be related. The point isn't to lie or force joy, it's just finding any thought that offers a tiny bit of relief. An easy existing match to feeling better.
Like appreciating a friend or coffee.
Exactly. Appreciating a friend, enjoying nature, that cup of coffee, anything that feels genuinely a little better than disappointment. Even moving from disappointment to just neutral or maybe slightly eager about finding one good thing today, that small shift changes your vibration. It nudges your point of attraction.
Okay, so wrapping up this section. Creating the future is an inside job. Becoming the vibrational match.
Right. Overcoming the past, cultivating brain-heart coherence, using that inner alignment to attract from the field, and knowing your power is right here, right now, and how you feel.
Let's pull all these amazing threads together then. Attracting the connections you want.
Oh,
It's not about perfection or control or fixing yourself first.
no.
It's about aligning your own energy, your state of being. Now, remember those reframes. You don't have to be fully healed, just present and willing. Soulmate energy matches the love inside you now, not fixation. Effortless means aligned action, not passivity. Fulfillment is self-sourced. Love comes in many forms. And wanting love. That's divine.
It really is.
As one source put it so beautifully, love doesn't come to perfect people. It comes to present people, people willing to be seen.
That's powerful. And it echoes Dr. Dispenza's point about showing up for yourself every day. In your practice, that consistent inner work, it builds real embodied worthiness. And the universe, the field, it responds to that feeling. It gives you what you feel worthy of receiving. Like he says, showing up means you believe it's possible. Investing in yourself is investing in your future.
That's a great way to think about it.
And maybe one last thought to leave you with, something that kind of reframes the whole overcoming process. Dr. Dispenza talks about how freeing yourself from past emotional anchors doesn't just liberate you, it can potentially liberate others too.
How so?
When you truly overcome the emotion tied to someone who hurt you, when you release that energy by retraining yourself and stepping into wholeness, you stop showing up as the wounded person they knew. You show up as your integrated present self. And from that place, you often see the past and them with compassion. But the really profound part, your energy shift can allow them to show up differently around you. Not because you changed them, but because you're no longer projecting the old energetic blueprint for them to react to.
Wow. That's a lot to think about.
It is. So consider, how might your relationship shift if you focus purely on aligning your energy independent of anyone else's actions or history?
We really hope you take these ideas and, play with them. Remember, even the smallest shift, reaching for that slightly better feeling, it matters. Okay, let's actually do this. Let's experience this shift right now with a guided practice. This isn't about finding the one out there. It's about connecting with the feeling of future love, right here, right now, debugging those old programs. So find a comfortable spot, seated, lying down, whatever works.
All right. And gently close your eyes. Just allow your body to relax. Soften your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. Release any tension you're holding anywhere. Take a nice deep breath in and a slow, easy breath out.
Now begin to imagine yourself feeling completely safe, seen, loved, in a healthy, committed relationship. Don't try and force a specific face or person right now. Remember, fixation can be upstream. Just focus entirely on the feeling. What does it feel like to be in this relationship?
Feel yourself being held, not just, physically held, but held in the truth of this love. Feel that deep support, truly understood, respected for exactly who you are, desired, just as you are. Just allow those feelings, safety, connection, worthiness to flow through your body. Breathe into them. Let them expand. Now, gently zoom out just a little bit. See your life from a slightly higher perspective. See your creativity flowing. Your connections with friends, family. Your work feeling meaningful. Your hobbies, your passions, all the things that make your life vibrant and full right now. See this loving relationship not as something you desperately need to be complete, not something your whole life orbits around, but see it like a beautiful, bright star within the whole constellation of your already rich, full life. It adds beauty, it adds depth, but it's part of a bigger whole picture. You are already whole.
And from that expansive feeling, that feeling of wholeness, of connection, breathe in the feeling of having this love. Now, right now, in this moment, not someday when you're fixed, not when the right person finally shows up. Feel the energy of it resonating inside you, in your heart, in your cells, right now. Because that future you, the one living this, they aren't some perfect, finished ideal. They are simply aligned. And they learn to let love in. Take one more deep, slow breath. Allowing that feeling of aligned love, of wholeness, to really settle into your heart, like you're planting a seed in fertile soil. Let it anchor deep inside you.
And when you feel ready, just gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring some awareness back to your body, and slowly, gently, open your eyes. Come back to the present moment, but consciously decide to bring that feeling with you. Carry it into your day.
Keep that feeling. Let that be your new energetic set point. That is the real soulmate signal you want to broadcast.
Okay, so just to wrap up this deep dive, let's pull out those key takeaways again.
Yeah. First big one, you absolutely do not have to be fully healed or perfect to receive love. Actually, letting safe connection in can be a huge part of your healing.
Second, real soulmate energy isn't that obsessive fixation. It matches the love, the safety, the worthiness you cultivate and allow yourself to feel right now. Your vibration attracts its likeness.
Third, you are not broken. You might just be broadcasting on an old frequency full of static from those limiting myths. But the amazing news is you have the power to switch channels. You can debug the code and align your energy.
And finally, love doesn't just show up for perfect people who finally earned it. It shows up for present people. People willing to be seen, willing to let go of the old stories, and willing to align their energy with the feeling of the love they desire.
We really hope this deep dive hit home for you today, and we'd genuinely love to hear which love myth resonated the most. Or maybe, what's one small aligned action you're going to take for love, for yourself, this week? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please do. And if this conversation sparked something for you, or you have a friend who feels like they're just stuck in that, twin flame tornado or just endlessly frustrated, please share this deep dive with them. It might help.
And definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next part of our myth-busting series.
Yeah.
We're tackling health and healing myths next time. Because, oh boy, spiritual guilt around health is real, and your body deserves way more than blame.
So true. And listen, if after that little visualization or just listening to this conversation, your heart feels even a tiny bit lighter, a little softer right now. That's it. That's the shift. That's the opening. That's the work right there.
And here's a final thought to chew on. That feeling you cultivated in the visualization. It's not just a tool to attract a partner. That feeling is the essence of the evolving, expanding you. It's your new energetic signature. And your next desires, your next experiences in love, yes, but in all of life, they're going to align with that vibration, maybe in ways you can't even imagine yet.
Beautifully put.
Thank you so much for doing this deep dive with us. Until next time,
Stay open.
stay weird.
Be magnetically you.